right, so here we are. It's Harvest Haven sheep. So you can see the turkeys in the background there, but this is the sheep. They lead the charge through the pasture, and they get this square that you see here. They get it for about somewhere between 4 and 5 days, depending on the pasture density. And with sheep, it's very important. Sheep are very vulnerable to parasites. And so it's super important that you get them away from their manure before any of those parasites have a chance to hatch. Now, I think you're in about the 8-day mark for that, and so you've got to get them out of where they are by at least 8 days. And so the sheep are in here, they graze the whole thing down, and we leave a little bit of leftovers because we want to fatten our sheep on the cream of the crop, so to speak. And then the turkeys come up and clean up the leftovers after that, and scratch apart any of the sheep manure to get it spread apart and drying out, and that really reduces your fly population a lot. And I would say that one of the most important things with sheep for tenderness and quality is that they're calm, they're tame, and so most of these animals here, especially if I sit still for long enough, will all come up. They're very gentle, they're not easily spooked, and sheep are very, very vulnerable to stress. And like, so the idea of having like sheep feedlots, I see them showing up in the Picture Butte area, where they just cram a bunch of sheep into a lot and feed them silage. It's got to be the most horrific agricultural tragedy on the landscape, because it's just, sheep are these beautiful, personable creatures, and they're unlike any other animal in creation. They're totally dependent on you, and they feed back off of your stress just as much as they feed back off of your love. And it breaks my heart to see people raising sheep like they're widgets, like they're just a four-legged ball of meat to harvest whenever you get the opportunity to make money. And these feedlots in general, but especially lamb lots, they have to go. This is the only way to properly fatten an animal. And there's no reason to be plowing up fields and planting corn and barley to get a sheep to gain weight. All you have to do is manage your pasture properly so that you've got beautiful grass here. I mean, they've got beautiful grass here, and I think they've been in here for a few days already. And, you know, if you were to turn the camera, you can see heaven on the other side of this fence here. But it's this is just a wonderful way of raising sheep, and I've had lots of people tell us that they've never had such good lamb anywhere else. I've had people from Australia tell me that, and people from England tell me that. We bring the cows through first through this pasture, and of course they're getting a block about the same size for a full day. Then when we bring the sheep in, the sheep are getting that really lush regrowth, because sheep don't really like tall grass like cows like tall grass. They like the fine, low, juicy grass. And so we bring the cows through first, and when you get that beautiful regrowth, then we bring the sheep in, and that's how I found you get the tenderest meat in sheep, is if you pay really special attention to the quality of their forage, and you don't expect them to be cleanup animals. They're not here to sort of clean up garbage. The sheep's nibbling on the camera tripod here. But yeah, sheep they're not for cleaning up weeds. You know, people will try to use sheep to clean up weeds and clean up this scruffy hillside. That's not what they're for. Sheep, you're not going to get very good quality meat that way. If you want really nice lamb, like really nice lamb, this is about the only way that you're going to get your lambs tender and fat enough and have that mild flavor so that you're not overpowered. Like, lots of people have had bad experiences with lamb. It's too sheepy and gamey, and it's too lean, and then you get too much fat cover on the outside and it goes to waste. If you want really nice, clean lamb where that fat is delicious and not sort of off-flavored, then you've got to give them really good quality pasture, and you have to keep them moving all the time onto fresh grass. And so that's just part of our model. You'll pick up the pattern for all of our animals is movement. Yeah, animals are not supposed to live in barns when the weather is beautiful. You're only supposed to put them in shelters when they need to be sheltered. But for as long as it's warm and the grass is green, then you keep them outside. And this is, to me, this is beautiful. It's an organized, sustainable system for raising really healthy protein. And people who think that organic can't feed the world, or well, that's fine for people who can afford it. This is a more productive, lower cost model of farming than anything on the landscape, hands down. It just requires creativity and diligence and care. It isn't a system that you can just input a bunch of people who don't care about farming to work the system. You have to have people in the system that are paying attention. And so much of agriculture has been designed around sort of taking the function of the farmer out of there so that you can operate your chicken barn with some computers and augers and automated equipment. And you're just not going to end up with that same quality product without the farmer caring and loving what he does and loving his animals. It's never going to happen. People have to care for their animals. And sheep are the perfect example of that. If you're not paying attention to them, if you're not providing them exactly what they need, sheep fall apart really, really quickly. They're not that tough. And so this is the model we've come up with, working together with the turkeys there. And yeah, we're just really happy about it. It just makes me so happy to see all these creatures out here, just living beautiful lives with us, in cooperation with us. So yeah, I hope you try the meat and I hope you enjoy it.